Hi everyone, welcome back to the Tech in vlog. I hope you had a great holiday. Now we're moving into step 2 of 5. That is some mistakes that could cost you passing CBAP. And yes, just a reminder that I'm not being paid by IIBA, PMI, or Scrum.org. I'm just sharing my knowledge, and our aim is still to be your one-stop hub for anything Agile, PMP, or BX. And yes, the goal is just to go through the do's, don'ts of taking the CBAP exam, some mistakes that you need to avoid and what you need to do. Then we'll dive into the step 3. And yes, I love to start with icebreaker. So see yourself with in any of these videos whereby you're trying to navigate your way to taking your CBAP and you don't want to go there blindly. You need a sense of direction, even if you don't know where to start and what to do. So you need someone to direct you, to tell you, oh, that is a stop sign, okay? Do this or do that. So let's go into the do's. Yeah, I hope you're all pumped up for this. And if all the videos we've been uploading that have been of good use to you, please subscribe, comment, like, and share. So the number one do's is to deal with your fears. Yes, we are humans and we all have our fears. Some would say, I'm afraid of failing. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. In fact, I feel overwhelmed and stuff like that. So try as much as possible to get rid of those fears, okay? So that you can go right into it. So, how do you do that? Understand what the exam requires of you. Now, you want to take an exam. You don't want to just go into it. You want to understand what it requires, what it needs you to do, how it needs you to get to register for it, when you are sitting for the exam, when you are preparing for the exam, expectations and stuff. So, where do you get that? You go to the IIBA website, they have all that for you. Then believe you can do it. Believe in yourself. This is the ultimate guide. When you believe you can do this, you go for it. Have a study plan and follow it judiciously. You don't want to fail, right? So you plan to pass, okay? So now you have a study plan, and I know I have a video on that. You can check that out on my YouTube channel. So when you have a study plan, you follow it judiciously. You plan when to start studying for the exam, what to study, where to gather your resources, when to take the exam, how to do your simulations and all whatnot. Then you follow it. Put aside all distractions. You get distractions left, right, and center from family, from work, from yourself, hanging out and stuff like that. So try as much as possible to put aside all those distractions, discuss with your family members so that they'll give you the space you require. Take out some time from work, and as much as possible tailor down or reduce the time you have on social media and all whatnot, so that you'll be able to reinvest those time into studying for your exam. Stay focused. So when you are able to plan your time, plan whatnot, you stay focused. When you say I need to read at this time, read at that time. You need to invest this number of hours, you just invest those number of hours. So staying focused and consistent helps you even when you are preparing for the exam, even when you are writing the exam. You need to stay focused too, because all the questions are technical, so you want to answer them properly. You want to choose the correct answers, right? Have a support system. Yes, your family, friends, your work colleagues are your support system. Your mentor is a support system. Those that will check up on you when you are taking the exam, those that would mentor you or direct you when you are taking the exam. Yes, understand that it is a journey and your roadmap is your study plan. So once you get this right, you've gotten everything. So this is a journey. This is a project that I need to prepare for. When you know this, you know that you are supposed to invest time and money and stuff like that. You know the expectations you have put upon yourself. When you have the plan, you are looking at your plan. You know that this plan will lead you from point A to B. That means you are not going or walking into the exam blindly. Okay, when you're able to research on IIBA website to know what they expect from you, you know that you're not walking blindly. So now, what is the worst that could happen? Some people ask themselves this question: is it failing the exam? Is it not knowing what to do? Is it, ask yourself, be open-minded. Ask yourself, what is the worst that can happen? And when you ask yourself this question, you discover that you see yourself floating above your fears, above making any mistakes and stuff like that. You are walking into it, you are doing it with an open mind. Okay, even when you don't get it right the first time, you try again. Make sure to read IBA's handbook and follow the steps provided. IBA has provided us with lots of steps on their website, so please try as much as possible to go there and research and know what is expected. Okay, so you may have a study group. So your study group helps to keep you in check, helps to guide you, helps to encourage you. These are people that have made so much research and they've come together to brainstorm with you. To at times when you are busy or when you are not encouraged, they help to encourage you, keep you on your feet. Okay, utilize IIBA's webinars and membership. So when you're a member of IIBA, or they have webinars where they invite you and they talk about BABOK, they talk about being a business analyst, and it helps you even when you are studying. Okay, keep a journal or make notes. So when you are in your study group, when you are studying BABOK, when you are attending all those webinars, please make notes. You can't just read BABOK and read it for reading's sake. You need to have a summary of it somewhere so that you'll be able to refer back to it whenever you are studying or doing your simulation. Okay, whenever something comes into your head and you notice that, oh, this step talks to this step. Okay, make note of it. Enjoy the experience or journey. Don't force. See this as an experience, see this as a journey. Don't just fuss about it. Even when you're taking the exam, even when you're in the exam room or on your desk taking the exam, don't force. Just experience, like love the experience, enjoy the experience. Okay, use make believe in revision and even taking the exam or even in your simulation. So when I say make believe, visualize, ask yourself, oh, what does BABOK say about this? Visualize yourself when they say stakeholder analysis, when they say planning and monitoring. Visualize yourself planning, monitoring. Don't just read it for reading's sake or for theoretical sake. When you have those in mind, it helps you. Now we are going into the don'ts, and before we go into the don'ts, I hope this has been of use to you. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment. Now, they don't. Not internalizing BABOK. Just like I mentioned, don't read BABOK for reading's sake. Don't read it as if it's theoretical. Read it to internalize it. Invest time in, even if it means taking out 6 months to read the BABOK, because whatever you are going to write in the exam or the questions you are going to do during the simulation, it comes from the BABOK, and they are putting it in such a way that it's practical. Okay, so when you don't internalize it, you would like it would overwhelm you, and you don't want that. Thinking that you already work as a BA, so you don't need to invest your time reading BABOK, or you don't need to practice the simulation. You already know what no, please. Yes, fine. When you are reading BABOK, you need to unlearn certain things. And remember, BABOK or IIBA, they have given you BABOK, that this is their standard, and they are testing you by their standard. So you want to know their standard in and out. So don't just say, I've done this or I'm doing it. Fine, those will be helpful. But at the same time, you need to start from the standard. Okay? Preparing for exam with wrong or insufficient resources is very dangerous. That's why I will not overemphasize, or will not stop overemphasizing on, or stop overemphasizing on going through IBA website. It will help you tailor down their rules, their regulation, their expectations of you, how you need to prepare for the exam, what you need to do when applying for the exam and stuff like that. Then you go into reading the test. That is their handbook, their standard BABOK. Okay, they have other tests on their website that would also help you. Then you go into looking for licensed IBA tutors, or those that teach about the BABOK or summarize it and stuff like that. And also on YouTube, you find IBA chapters across the world that you can follow, or you can look at maybe their video uploads that would help you. Please, if you run into all those tests or all those summaries or all those tips that misguide you and stuff, it would be of it would disturb you a lot or in your exam, because you wouldn't know how to answer the questions. You rely on them and stuff like that, and you don't want that. Okay, so try to know where to source your materials from. Now, expecting a fill in the blank. Now, when you are even applying for the IIBA exam, that is, be it ECBAP or be it CBAP and all whatnot, you will see that they will expect you to have some number of years of experience and all whatnot. So they are expecting that you should come to a level of understanding or maturity to write this exam. So you don't just expect it to be simple. And even when you are doing the simulation, you will see the questions and how difficult they are. So imagine now how the exam would be. So it it expects you to practicalize. It expects you to, put your brain to work, okay, to be analytical and stuff like that. Now, not managing time properly. So when you are able to put your plan out or down and you're able to follow it judiciously, and you know that you study when you're supposed to study. Now, when you are even studying the simulations or solving the simulations, those are time. And when you have read the IIBA handbook, you see what they tell you about preparing your desk for the exam and stuff like that. Okay, no, now, not managing your time properly. When it comes to those simulations, they are timed. So when they are timed and you know that you are solving it and you are putting yourself in that exam, atmosphere, it helps you a lot, because when you are able to meet up with time and you gauge your scores, it tells you how far away you are from taking the exam or not. For example, for my PMIS, and even I use it for my IIBA exam, I use the simulators to time myself. I looked at the scores, and when I got to a particular, like, I know I'm getting a particular score, and I feel satisfied, and I felt like, oh, okay, I've come to this level of confidence or level of understanding to go for the exam. That was when I went for the exam. So now, managing your time is across board, planning for the exam and also preparing for the exam or answering the simulation. So you have to do this. Stress and anxiety. Please don't put yourself under so much stress and anxiety that even when you are preparing, even when you're taking the exam, you need to have a clear mind, a clear head to look at the questions and answer them, because they are technical. You have to be analytical. So I will even tell you where the questions, like the different chapters or the different sections, the question they're expecting you to know according to the percentage. So you need to know it in and out. So how can you write an exam like that when you are under stress and anxiety? Poor preparation can not help you in this exam. If you know you are not prepared, it's better to just take your time, prepare, manage your time, get all your resources, study, take your time to know, like, when you map out your plan, you're already telling yourself, when I get this score, I know that I am this way away from taking the exam. Okay, so you make your plan, you plan your time, you know when it's time for you to schedule for the exam, and you go for the exam. So take it one step at a time, no rush. Not understanding BABOK flow terms or etc. I can't overemphasize on this. If it means investing 6 months to study for the BABOK, fine, or a year, so that you get a better understanding. I studied the BABOK like 4 times, and at each time like my level of understanding increased one way or the other. So just take your time to understand BABOK, understand the flow, and if you're finding it difficult, yes, refer to all those licensed tutors on YouTube, or even look for an IIBA chapter all over the world. Join them, or even refer back to your study group. It would help, break those down. So now let's also move on to looking at don't procrastinate. When you say, I'm going to study now, oh, you move it, because each time you don't study, each time you don't invest that time that you're supposed to invest, you know that you are now moving away from the time you have plan to take your exam. So try not to procrastinate. That is why before you even start studying, you need to make your plan. You need to put some things aside. You can check the first video I uploaded, and also one other video that I talked about time management. It will help you a lot. Don't depend on tips and tricks. Tips and tricks are fine, but those are just nice to have. Okay, so when you know the exam expectation, when you know like how you need to approach the questions, when you know where to source your materials from or your resources from, when you know about doing online class and stuff like that, then also you have studied babok in and out. Okay, then you can know, you can have your tips and tricks. For example, you want to use elimination method in answering a question and all that, that is fine. But depending on tips and tricks is a no, because you're about failing the exam if you know that is what you want to do. Don't pay anyone to take the exam for you or flaunt IBA rules. You will see it on their handbook, you will see it on their website. Don't flaunt. They have their rules and regulation about exam misconduct and all whatnot. Don't isolate yourself. Have a nervous breakdown or get bitter on friends and loved ones. Yes, this can happen to you because you are frustrated about taking the exam, you're frustrated about not having time, and you are getting bitter. No, don't doubt yourself. Believe you can do this. That is the ultimate. Don't depend on what people say. Those are only recommendations. Yes, what people say are recommendations. Try to know yourself what to read and where to read. Don't skip water or food. Don't do that under writing the exam or even preparing for the exam. Don't put yourself under undue pressure. Move or schedule the exam only when your scores tell you the truth. Yes, look at your scores. They will tell you the truth when you are doing your simulation, if you are ready to fix this exam or not. And if not, please move it. Now we are moving into step 3, and I know you are all pumped up for the best way to study IIBA's BABOK, and that will be the ultimate secret tips and tricks to passing CBAP on first attempt. And I can't wait to see you there. And please, if you've enjoyed this, please subscribe, comment, share, and like. And if you got questions, leave that on our YouTube channel. And thank you so much. See you next time. Bye.